Hi, I'm Bronte, and I'm here with Derek, David, and Will, and we're Trek, a collaboration platform for group travel. Here at Trek, we're all about bringing productivity and collaboration to group trip planning. Our initial mission is to simplify group travel planning through a process that will be 1,000% easier than Google Sheets or anything else that you're doing. We're going to become the LinkedIn for travel, and I'm going to leave it to Will to tell you more about the market.
Thanks. Yeah, so in order to assess the market, we broke it out into two steps. The first was looking at the initial market and then looking at the long-term future market. On the initial side, we started with just the number of US MBA students that are in the country, looked at the average spend that they have on travel to find a $5 billion total addressable spend. So if we assume 1% of that market is something we could capture, we could get up to $50 million in revenue. On the long-term side, we looked at the amount of commissions that OTAs take from hotel bookings. And we found that with a 1% capture, we'd have anywhere between $100 to $200 million of revenue. I'll pass it off to Derek.
Thanks, Will. So in terms of business model, we've outlined 4 potential strategies. The first is users use the platform to travel. Hotels, airlines, and other travel constituents will be incentivized to advertise on the platform, similar to a Facebook or Instagram model. The second is the agency model, whereby we'll gain commissions on bookings made through our website, similar to Priceline, Kayak, etc. The fourth is a subscription model. Once people add a sufficient amount of memory and storage via pictures and itineraries to the website, we'll charge a monthly subscription similar to Dropbox. And finally, the final model is more of a banking payments angle, similar to Venmo or any credit card provider. We assume that people might want to pool money onto the platform to make paying fellow trip goers during the trip and after the trip easier. And while we have that money in the platform, we can earn float and investment income on that. In terms of the competition, there's a lot of products that focus on itinerary management. So once you book, aggregating all that in one place and emailing it to you. There's others that are sold only to travel agents. Others that like Tripsy that really focus on individual trip planning. Wanderlog, we believe is our closest competitor, focusing much more on the content piece. So like, what should you do? And here are like 10 or 100 different itineraries from others that have been there. We are really approaching this purely from the, initially from the workflow and collaboration side. So making that planning process a lot easier. Once we have that down pat, eventually then we're going to move to actually adding trip content for trip goers. I'm going to pass it off to David now to talk about experimentation and next steps.
Sure. So in order to determine if the product is good, we need to determine if there's demand for it first. So the two things that we're testing for is to see whether users will prefer Trek over other options and whether they'll find it a convenient platform. So to do that, we already have a beta version of the website that we're going to ask individuals to use to plan a new trip from scratch that they can model after something they've already done and to interact with an already planned trip that the Trek team has put together. In measuring metrics, we'll determine how likely they are to use Trek for future trip planning, and also to see if our current features are useful and if there are features that we're missing that could make the app better.
Awesome, thanks, David. So I'm now going to go through a quick demo of the product to show you how our experiment will go. And so here you see the website. So we're going to log in. And first I'm going to show you what it looks like to create a trip. So create trip. Let's say we're going skiing in Park City this week. I can upload a picture and boom, here's my trip. I can invite attendees right here, add activities, etc. So that's how I've created a new trip. Now we're going to interact with an existing trip, less as a trip planner, but more let's say you were invited to join this, a different trip. So this is a ski trip that happened last month. Here I can see everyone that's going. I can see all the stops we took, flight information, activities, etc. And there's a group chat here that specifically kind of relates directly to the trip. You don't have to scroll all the way up on your WhatsApp or GroupMe. It's all organized in a calendar view as well, where I can filter specifically by traveler what each traveler is doing. Will still need to book his flights. And also, I can join if I want to join a ski trip. I can click join. I'm going skiing on this day. And in the future, this will take me to the ski website to directly book my ski tickets or my flights. And so we think this is a very intuitive and easy way to plan a group trip. And we're excited to get people using it and begin the interview and experimentation process. Thanks for listening and looking forward to your feedback. Thank you.